Welcome to Alchemical Science. I'm Jordan Collin, an independent researcher and alchemist and a student of the inventor and vortex fusion specialist Malcolm Bendall. Wow, we are on part 11 of our Alpha and Omega ladder series now, and we've covered a lot already, from the science of transmutation, the history and the immediate practical future of technologies like the Thunderstorm Generator. And in part 9, we heard from two of the primary strategic partners involved in the mass production of the Thunderstorm Generator, Rockpecker and Akras Industries. The following day, I caught up with Michael Akras of Akras Industries again to follow up on his involvement in the project and to go a bit deeper into his experience and some of the future technologies he'll be working on with Malcolm. Michael's not just another engineer in this project, he actually understands the technology and the science behind it, and he's actively involved in its development. Like Malcolm, he is in the scientific lineage of Nikola Tesla, Viktor Shauberger, Walter Russell, to name a few. He's replicated many of Tesla's experiments, along with Stanley Meyer's and even the Joe cell. Michael's built cars, engines, and electrical systems from scratch. He's worked with every kind of metal in existence, and he knows their properties well, chemical and electromagnetic, like the back of his hand. And he's, in every sense of the title, a real deal modern industrial alchemist. In regards to the Thunderstorm Generator project, Michael has spent the last year refining and perfecting the design of the system with Malcolm Bendall to get it ready for mass production for all sorts of different applications, working with Rockpecker. He is a force to behold, and outside of Malcolm himself, he's one of the greatest minds behind the project, in my humble opinion. Before we move on to the interview, we're not finished with the Alpha and Omega ladder series yet. Be sure you're subscribed to the channel for more big upcoming announcements and interviews over the next few weeks. There's still quite a bit to come. It's going to be quite eventful. And also remember to check out the resources in the description, strikefoundation.earth, Malcolm Bendall's website, where you'll find his notes, his lectures, some other announcements, and a downloadable or printable poster of the Alpha and Omega ladder. alphaprospects.com, they're one of the primary licensees and commercial partners involved in the Thunderstorm Generator rollout, and Akras Industries, where you can find out more about Michael's company. And there'll also be links to any other resources that we mentioned in this interview too. Alright, I hope you enjoy this interview with Michael Akras. We are joined also by Professor Roland Perry for the interview, author of The Shaman and Oliphant and about 40 other titles, including a number of bestsellers. Remember, you can pre-order Oliphant now to be available on the 30th of September. So thank you again to Roland and Michael for taking the time to follow up with me. Here's the interview. All right, I am here today with Michael Akras of Akras Industries and Professor Roland Perry, and we are here to specifically talk to Michael today about your past and your history. I'll let you introduce yourself a little bit because you've actually got so many qualifications that I don't think I could possibly name them all. But what is it you're doing now for a start?
At the moment, my actual title is a welding engineer or inspector supervisor.
Mm-hmm.
So what we mainly do here is we make pressure vessels, storage tanks. I'm normally in charge of all the welding, do the CNC, 3D programming, all those sorts of things.
Yep.
And we specialize in high nickel alloys. So we start from our base material is, you could probably say, stainless steel, and we go through all the high nickel alloys into the Inconel, Hastelloy, titanium, zirconium, all those type of special materials. So that's what we're doing at the moment. So that's our baseline business.
So and this leads into working with Malcolm Bendall, the Thunderstorm Generator.
We get this pulls us into a lot of different areas because of the special materials. You get involved in a lot of special projects. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah, it's very unique.
Yeah.
I was going to say, how did you get into it? I know your father's involved.
Yeah, so this is a family
And when
business.
did you start getting into this area?
Well,
what age?
into the engineering side of things, so from 10 years old. So it's a family business. So 10 years old, I was on the radial drill, drilling these holes you can see behind me.
Yeah.
So that's how it started.
You look very old for 10 there. But...
Yeah, no, that's my father.
Oh, yeah.
So what I did, my schooling was electronics.
Right.
So I came out of all my studies, or most of my studies were in electronics, and I came out of that, and then I went back in as an apprentice, done my welding certificates, became a welding supervisor, became a welding inspector, just on night school, this, that. So the schooling's been quite long.
Yeah.
but and various other projects. So.
And that's, I guess, what we probably really want to talk about.
Yeah.
But it's interesting because you do have this mix of skills of being someone who's been practically on the job in the industry, making normal projects.
Yes, that's right. Yeah,
in the world.
We get involved with a lot of special projects. We've got a lot of NDAs that are signed. So, and that comes from the material. So I'm quite lucky to see many things. A lot of things I can't talk about, obviously, but yeah, we get involved in a lot of stuff. And then
Can't you talk about that, military or something?
Oh, it's all NDAs, so it's all non-disclosures, and it's all special equipment. Some military, some other processes. So it's all they've all got IP on them, and some have got 10 years, 20 years, 50 years. So it depends on how critical they are. Yeah, but the material brings us into that because the material's so specialised.
Yes.
You get involved in those special projects.
Right.
So it's been great. It's I didn't like it as a teenager, obviously, because I got pulled into the business, family business. You know how it is. But we've made it. It's been really interesting, and for the last 20 plus years, I've been interested in all the alternative things. Yeah. So
that's where I wanted to go, because obviously you trained, you did welding, you did electrical engineering, you did all of this, and then at what point did you learn about Nikola Tesla's work, about things like the Joe cell, all of these alternatives?
In my teenage years. So we're very early on, and then because I started and done all that training, and probably from the electronics onwards. So the electronics really that's why I went to do electronics. That was the whole point behind it, because of Nikola Tesla.
Okay, so you had an interest in it before.
That's why I actually studied electronics.
You were aware of Tesla, because that's quite amazing. You would have been a teenager.
Yeah, teenager. Yeah, very, very early on. Very early on.
That's amazing. And then did you to study him? Did you look?
No, all of them. I forget the list. Walter Russell was probably the main one, because he had the most information. So I've still got his original home guide. The big
the course
the course home guide. I've got two of them. And his books. You'll see Tesla books everywhere. I've got Tesla's original notes, leather bound. Like I've got Viktor Shauberger, Ed Lascalin, all the list goes on and on and on and on.
Wow.
Yeah. So it all comes back to the same thing.
And did you pursue this independently, or were there other people around that were interested in those?
Yes and no. So both. So we'd done a lot of the Stanley Meyer stuff.
Yep.
So we formed a small company. There was a bit of a didn't go too well, and
how did you get onto Meyer though? That's fascinating, because people won't know necessarily.
Stanley Meyer. I'm not sure. I think because of the New Zealand the seminar he'd done in New Zealand.
Right.
I think somewhere along the way mentioned it, because I got heavily involved with the Joe cell.
Right, okay.
Back then, and the magnetic water cells. And
did you meet?
I've met Joe many times. Yeah.
Did you meet Stanley?
No, I didn't get to meet Stanley. No, I didn't get to meet him.
Life is foreshortened.
Yeah. So I was meant to go to meet with Callum Coates. Do you know Callum Coates in Queensland? Yeah.
I do not know.
Yeah, so I was. That's one guy I missed meeting, but also done a lot of work with the orgon stuff.
Oh, Wilhelm Reich.
He wasn't in Australia. No, but there's another guy that done a lot of his work.
Replicated his...
Constable, Trevor Constable.
Okay,
So Trevor Constable, we had some. So I had a little bit of a connection there. I've got Trevor's book as well. Trevor Constable's book.
Yeah, so that's pretty much all the regular names.
But you
were into them quite early.
even with the radiant energy with the crystal. I forgot the other guy that done with all the lights. I forget their names. So I'm shocking with names.
And now we come to Malcolm Bendall. How did you link up with him, and when? Is it a few years ago? Or?
It's got to be at least. It's probably 2 years. I'd say 2 years. I'm not sure. Maybe a bit less. I'm not sure.
I've known you a year.
It feels like a long time. It's gone. There's a lot of
annihilation.
There's a lot of things that have happened. So it's been a real big push.
But what was the connection?
The connection was through. I think it was through Jordan's video, because I was doing the agricultural.
Doing an alchemy.
So I was doing all the magnetic planting, the sun. sun planting and all that. And we were putting the positive in the earth and all that with the magnetic filters. And somehow I've got to go back and think about the connection that it was.
We came and met up at the Lismore demo that we did.
That was a bit into it.
You'd already been.
Yeah. So I'm not sure on the exact date.
You went to the Lismore exhibition?
I went there. Yeah, I went there. Yeah,
that was
as soon as I saw it, it's all connected. I knew straight away.
You were working on that with the soil thing, weren't you?
Yeah. I was working on the.
Did you call them plasmoids with the separation, or
plasma? We called it like a plasma. We knew it was a plasma, more a plasmon sort of thing, because it was sort of ionization and so but we didn't know about the plasmoids back then, but. It's just the wording.
So just on what the application is for the audience, what is the application you're talking about there? Which it's for soil.
Yes, we were doing a growth. So we had it. So that particular project was mainly for growth. So
and this is the magnetic filtration.
The magnetic filtration. So that actually went. We made a product here, not mentioning any names, and that product got taken from here. And it got taken to the States, and
is that a word?
Taken. Let's say taken.
Allegedly,
taken. And it got tested overseas when Schwarzenegger was
when
California.
You say growth, though, this is growth of plants.
Growth of plants.
Soil.
Yeah.
Right. So the soil has the plasmoidal.
No, the actual water. So the water goes through a magnetic process, and it gets ionized, and the plasmoids. That's probably the easiest way to describe it. They get separated, and all the molecules change, and the water gets charged. So then, when it goes to the soil, because it's charged, it actually goes to the tree. The tree doesn't have to. Have to search for the minerals.
Fantastic.
So it's a charge difference, and it comes to the tree, and the tree grows because it doesn't have to fight to find all the. So that's another project.
It's getting into the deeper applications.
So mainly we started off with oil separation. So so we could separate the oil and also the water, also treatment for water, also drinking water.
Yeah.
So I've had one on my house since I bought it, 2011.
Yeah.
So it softens the water. It changes the water. It's charged water.
Yeah.
And then you can see it sparkle. You can see when you get a glass and you put it from the normal tap, and you can see the sparkle in the water.
Yeah.
You can see the difference.
Roland and I were just doing an interview about his book Oliphant coming out, about Mark Oliphant, and you were saying, Roland, that Oliphant's such a prolific experimenter. He was always in the lab, always doing things. And essentially this is Michael Akras.
Yeah, well, I experimented with Oliphant's homopolar generators.
Yeah,
so I've done a lot of that work as well.
Yeah.
So all those guys.
And this is all about 20 years ago, right? You
something
Stanley
happened
Meyer's
like that. All in that 90 sort of 90, 95, 96 period.
Yeah.
Something was going on.
The homopolar thing at ANU, wasn't he? Wasn't he developing it?
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
National University. Could you?
It's amazing.
Quickly say what that's about? The homopolar.
So it's basically the easiest. It's a magnetic device that generates massive amounts of current.
Right.
So it's a disc. You'll find it on the internet. Yeah, it's basically a magnetic disc that can generate like heaps and heaps of current.
It sounds like
it's unbelievable.
Follow on from his magnetron, which is the basis of radar. It sounds like.
Well, also I think it led down from Michael Faraday. So
he was a Faraday fan.
Oh, Faraday was unbelievable.
Who isn't? Faraday's amazing.
Well, Michael, what do you expect?
Chemical combustion of a candle. That video series, fantastic.
So all those guys,
You two met at Lismore, and then you must have told me about Malcolm, and then that.
Well, no, he was
following the videos. And that was the first time face to face.
Yeah, that was just the first time we
first face to face. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And when did you first come across Malcolm? You went to India.
Face to face. Yeah, in India. Yeah, face to face. Yeah,
where Malcolm is based.
Yeah, where he's based. Yeah,
I think we're allowed to say that. We don't have to say.
Somewhere. Yeah, somewhere in the world. Yeah, that's right.
Really big place. And what was your first impression of all that?
Our first impressions was just like I knew him for like he was a brother. It was
Right,
just
good.
you know, it's just that
Similar
connection was there.
Yeah, I mean the Tesla connection, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
All of the stuff
Yeah.
you've just been talking
Building
about.
your own cars when you were teenagers.
Building the whole thing. Still building, but
The engines, yeah.
I've got to watch who's watching, so I get in trouble. Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Rebuilding. Let's just say rebuilding.
Rebuilding.
Yeah. So we used to. All my friends were mechanics, so
Yeah.
that's where the mechanic. And I had the opportunity to have the workshop. So who's got that type of opportunity to work with titanium? So I had a Gemini back in the day in the 90s.
Yeah.
And I had an Inconel exhaust on the Gemini back in the 90s, which is they've just 10 years, not even 10 years ago on the Formula Ones.
Yeah, and for those who don't know, these are rare metals that are very difficult to obtain. You need licenses and all sorts. So you can't necessarily experiment with it unless you're in the industry.
I had the opportunity of the workshop behind us, So who's got that opportunity? So I had.
And it's a big workshop too. We're not just talking about this room. It's a big factory.
I was quite lucky to have that. I didn't realise it at the time, but I was quite lucky to have that because I could just go, I'll just make it on the lathe, or I'll grab it on the drill, or I'll weld that up, So I'm very lucky. I didn't see it back then, but now I was very lucky to have that.
Now you've got connections. You're into alchemy, and you're dealing with all the metals, as the old alchemist did.
Yes,
they were working with them. So there's an interesting connection there. You've got to be really on top of all that and love the whole energy thing as well.
No, that's right. Yeah. Well, you can see that there's a connection with all of them. You can just see it. It's not the way that they tell you it is. That's what never sat right with me, and that's I thought always looking for something different.
Right.
Because it never sat well with me.
I understand.
Yeah.
And you've seen some pretty amazing things in just some of the work you've done in replicating Stanley stuff. And I can cut some pictures into this if you're happy for me to. Because we did take them on your dusty shelf.
Yeah, well, I'm helping
upstairs,
people as well make them still.
Yeah. There's a guy in the US working on it at the moment that you're working with.
I've dusted down all the old, I found all the old coils that I had and the wire and start again.
Can you tell me about a couple of those things, both what you worked on replicating with Joe's stuff and with Stanley's?
Yeah. So Joe's stuff's very, very interesting. Yeah, it's very sensitive. It's a very sensitive.
Yeah, like you can't have even the wrong.
It's very sensitive. Yeah. Whereas the Stan stuff is more industrial. Yeah, like it was built, it was made to go. He was
built
ready
to use.
He was ready to go.
Magicians.
Yeah, well, he was ready to go. He had the licenses. He had everything.
Yeah, it's Stanley Meyer talking.
Stanley Meyer. Yeah, he had everything ready to go. Look, all the notes are not complete, but he's not going to tell you a step-by-step guide. You've got to have some brains to figure it out yourself.
I think we should tell the audience that he died an untimely death. Claimed he was poisoned after a meal with a couple of strange
pomegranate juice.
Was it cranberry juice?
Yeah, cranberry juice, pomegranate, something like that.
And he was with a couple of strange businessmen who came from Europe.
That's right, and his brother. Yeah,
and he felt that
he said he was poisoned. Yeah, he actually said it.
Developing a car which would have threatened the.
Well, he'd already done it. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he'd done it.
Not only that, but the whole system. The transportation, the storage, the home units, everything.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. If you go through his notes, people need to go through his notes to see. It's
he wasn't old. He was 50 something, wasn't he?
Yeah, that's young.
I think that's young too. Old.
Thanks, Jordan.
So you're hoping to carry on some of that work?
Well, now we've got Malcolm. So Malcolm was way beyond what Stanley Meyer had.
Really?
We're at the first. We're just scratching the surface.
This is kind of coming back a bit closer to Russell with the correct understanding of magnetism.
Well, well, the correct chart. The charts. The chart is spot on.
Frequency and magnets.
Well, it's got 32 points. That's how you use on the magnets. Same thing. The magnets are not north and south.
This is what I really want to touch on because you've actually given some of the best explanations I've ever heard on these topics. Magnetism. What's going on here? And particularly so many people have asked me this question, the 8 planes, the 32. What is this about?
It's the gears in the gears that they say in the Bible.
Yeah.
So it's a gear set. That if you grab the magnet, it's like a gear set. Yeah. So even doing this with your hand, you can feel the forces. Like you can, it's not magic or anything. You can actually feel your hand. If you do that, you can actually feel it.
Yeah.
Like people think you're crazy, but if you just do it, you can feel it. And the magnets are like a gear set. So they're like a gear set. When you put them together in the planes. So if you work out how the planes are, you work out how to put the magnets.
Yeah.
It's not just the north and south. That's crap.
And then back to polarity.
Yeah.
Give
Polarity.
me your explanation of polarity within magnetism.
Well, polarity is going through. So it's not. It's like the magnets. One. I'm really bad at explaining things.
No, you're not.
I have to go.
So please give it a shot. Yeah.
One is going through the other.
Yeah.
So one is it's
like the vortex.
Yeah, like the vortex. One's going through. So
they're not just hitting in the middle there.
If you put a piece of wire on the table, right, like Michael Faraday, right? So you put the wire on the table. You have DC, and you hang a whole stack of magnetic wires, just bits of wire along that cable. What you'll find is they'll flick like that. So it's not, the current is not flowing one way. Those little things are showing you that it's going like this. That's why one's flicking that way, one's flicking that way. So it's following the vortex, and the vortex is coming the other way. So it's equilibrium. You get an equilibrium. You get one, like DNA. It's exactly the same as DNA. So it's going like that.
Wow.
Right. Like that vortex photo that we've got, with the hot and the cold.
Yeah.
It's exactly electricity. So I don't want to say too much because people will think I'm bananas, but the electricity actually is not really flowing in the cable. Let's just put it that way.
Well, yeah, I think even physicists are getting to that point of understanding that now.
When they get there, then I'll talk about it. So it's not. Yeah, it's not actually traveling. It's probably a waveguide. Let's say it's a waveguide. That's probably the easiest way to describe it.
Ken Wheeler calls it an arch form, and I like that.
Yeah. I'll call it a waveguide. Let's put it that way. Waveguide is probably closer to what it is.
Yeah.
It creates a path for the electricity to go.
Yeah.
That's probably the easiest.
Just like an ionized path of the plasmoid.
Exactly the same.
Discharging.
Exactly. That's how it discharges, Yeah.
Yeah. And on that as well, I've got one more question on electricity. And
that's my opinion, by the way.
Yeah.
I could be totally wrong, So
You've said in terms of Tesla's work, of course, when we're not earthing, when we're. Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah.
It's obvious. It is simple to some people, and many people understand this.
We're living on a big capacitor, on a big capacitor. So you've got charge differences in everything.
Yeah.
So there's a charge difference. It's an electrical system the same way we are.
Yeah.
We're an electrical being. We live on an electrical system. So we're actually living on a capacitor.
Yeah.
So if you think of it like that, like even the resistance on the Earth. So when I was doing the electronics, you always, in the formula, when you put the ground plane into the Earth, because the Earth is actually zero resistance.
Yeah.
Because of the surface area.
Yeah.
So the resistance you get is in the stake. It's not the Earth.
It's not.
A lot of people think it's the stake. The Earth is zero because the surface area is so massive. The Earth has got no resistance.
And I've never heard anyone say this before, but as soon as you told me, I was obviously.
Well, I was doing it one day, and when I was doing my calculations, and I thought, hang on a second, it's the actual surface area of the rod that's creating the problem, not the Earth.
Yeah.
We think it's the Earth, but if you were to put 1,000 rods in, what did Tesla do?
Well, this is exactly what he realized, isn't it?
You have to grab onto you have to hold onto the Earth. You have to grab hold of it electrically.
Yeah.
Because it's got zero resistance. Yeah. And this is what I think they don't teach you. They don't.
They certainly not.
And it's all you can go through. I'm not being crazy. You can go through it and calculate it. Like it's in the formula, but no one picks it up.
Yeah.
It's actually there. It's not. It's nothing new. It's all hidden in front of you.
Hidden in plain sight.
In plain sight, exactly. Yeah. So you just got to. I just decided. I was just one day. I was just doing a calculation. It just hit me. I was thinking, hang on. It's the actual surface area of the earthing rod that's the problem.
Yeah.
Not the ground itself. I just need to get to the ground properly.
Problem, what's the problem as such?
Trying to get the power that you need.
Oh right. Okay.
Yeah. So trying to get that power.
It's creating the resistance.
Yeah. You need to grab a hold of the Earth. So you need to grab good conductors. So you need to bury a big copper sheet or big metal in the ground over a big surface area. So then you've got good contact to the ground.
Right,
And what did Tesla do? Tesla done exactly the same thing.
Yeah, he had exactly those same issues, right? When he moved to his new laboratory, and then he had the rocky kind of outcrop, and he had to go right deep down, keep filling it with water constantly.
You've got to get a good electrical connection.
Yeah.
Because what he was dealing with, he was using the earth. He was pumping the earth.
Yeah, yeah.
So he was using the earth he was resonating the earth, basically, yeah. So, very important. That's where the Schumann resonance comes in too. The ionization layer, you know. So
it's a Malcolm Bendall's
power
plant.
That's it, exactly.
Well, he wants to put a huge one in Tibet or something. Where is it?
In India, in the Himalayas.
In India,
up. You got to get the right latitude.
So that's a huge rod he wants to put there.
Yeah.
Well, not a rod. He wants to fill a column with argon.
Yeah, argon is like a again, I'm going to get in trouble. Is basically a magnetic type gas.
Right, and it's 1% of the atmosphere.
Yeah, but it's very important. It's an important percent of the atmosphere. You know, that's like we say. We're oxygen. We're actually breathing more nitrogen than we are oxygen. So
yes, 80%.
We're going on the oxygen. But we're nitrogen. We're like a tree.
80%.
It's all the nitrogen cycle. On living creatures are on the nitrogen cycle. So we breathe nitrogen and we breathe oxygen.
Want to do? Reiterate on that. What's Malcolm want to do? He wants to.
With the power plant.
Yeah.
So same as what Tesla was doing. So he's going to. So basically, you get the power from the. What's the best way to explain it? You're getting the power from the ionosphere, but you're cleaning up the ionosphere. You're getting rid of the impurities. You're making all the frequencies match.
Right.
It's probably the easiest way to say it. Yeah.
Right.
First, you'll match those frequencies, and then it's a bit. I don't know. I'm trying to think how to explain it. Yeah. So
that one's probably for a little later anyway.
Yeah.
Not in Malcolm's economy. He wants it. He talks about it now, but it could be 20 years before he gets around to it.
Well, we'll see. I mean, I think it'll be probably a lot sooner.
We'll try and push it a bit quicker because that's my main goal. That's my main objective. Really? Yeah, that's my love. That's where I want to be.
Well, that's where he wants to be.
Yeah. No, that's where we have to be. Right. I think we better get rid of the want. That's where we need to be. We need to get there because you give power to everyone.
Yeah. Well, that was Tesla's idea.
Yeah,
Malcolm's got it.
He went to the wrong person. He went to someone that had copper and, he had a copper mine. So not very good if you do a wireless system, Not if you've got a copper plant,
120 years later. But before we do that, we've got to work on this transition technology. And
that's right.
You're heavily involved in this project of the Thunderstorm Generator. And same kind of principles. Another thing on that, because you've said something very interesting about engines themselves, that these are an electrical device, like a generator, for example.
That's true. Yeah.
Can you just explain that a little bit?
So in every engine, there's no component in an engine which is metal to metal.
Yeah.
So it's insulated from the oil.
Yeah.
So not only is it insulated mechanically by an oil layer, you've got to think of it as electrically as well. Because the oil is a dielectric, so it's when you're in the transformers, you put the oil in there, and the oil is there to cool it, and it acts as a dielectric as well.
Yeah.
So the same thing's happening in the engine.
Yeah.
So when you're tuning the car, you're tuning the frequency.
Yeah.
So that's what tuning's all about. When you tune your radio, you're tuning the frequencies. You're doing the same thing in the car.
Exactly the same thing in a car.
You're tuning the car. If you look at the car, you look at the capacitor that's on the car. Mainly. That capacitor, if you work it out, you can do it mathematically, is linked to the Earth. So that capacitance is linked to the Earth's capacitance. If you take that capacitor off, you don't get the proper spark, do you? It's pretty much dead, the car.
Yeah.
So what are you tuning to?
Well, this is the question that I was going to cheekily ask.
I don't know if we move to the next step.
Well,
What are you actually tuning? You've got to think about what are you actually tuning?
Well, what are the inputs to an engine? If anyone wants to just make this logical jump themselves.
There's nitrogen going in, there's oxygen going in, there's argon going in. All the thing that's in the normal air that we breathe is in there.
Yeah.
So it's all there. So, but you're adding fuel now. So what's fuel when it's vapor? It's a frequency. So what frequency? You're tuning the car to run on the frequency of the vapor.
Yeah.
So let's just say that that's not the only frequency that you can tune the car to.
There are other frequencies.
Other
indeed.
frequencies, yes, there is. So let's just leave it at that, So, when they run an alcohol car, that's a totally different tune.
They have to adjust it, yeah.
Totally different tune, So, yeah, so when you decide to run your car on something else, well, there's a different tune for that as well. So,
And of course, you've got to do a little bit of that when we retrofit it with a Thunderstorm Generator too.
Look, you've got to remember that there's water vapor in the air wherever you go.
Yeah.
There's always a percentage of water vapor in the air.
Yep.
So that's the other thing that helps that whole system.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
yeah, even in the Maldives, a kind of higher humidity environment, things work
People
easily.
forget the water. We forget that we're the fish in the fishbowl. We forget that we're surrounded by. There's nothing. We're surrounded by the atmosphere.
Yeah.
So we forget there's no closed system. There's always something reacting with something else. You just got to know what reactions take place and how they work.
Yeah.
We're getting there now.
Mm-hmm.
What's your sort of long-term aim for your own work, apart from Malcolm's work, but you'll be obviously connected with him, which is going to be a big part of your operation. What, with that and beyond that, what do you see? Because you've got the vision now, because you've been at it for so long.
Oh, yeah.
You started at 10.
I think,
You're now 51. So.
I know what I want to say, but I don't really want to say it. But
come on.
But once we get to the plasmoid power, the power unit, the Tesla type, so with Malcolm's power plant, once we get there, it's going to be massive changes from there. I think people, it's going to be a really big.
Can you talk a little bit about it? Because that is most.
Well, once the thunderstorm sort of generators get in, there'll be a transition, because that's a transitional device.
Right. Got it.
So once they're in and everyone's running them, everyone's happy, then we start going into the OEM type setups where we can do the next stage, which is incorporated into the machine, and the machine's actually designed with the TSG in the machine. Whereas not it's at the moment we're designing the TSG around the machine.
Right.
They'll be designing the TSG into the machine.
Right.
Once that's done, then you got the next stage where you get away from those types of machines and you start getting into the actual where you're using the energy directly.
Right, got it.
So then once you get away from that, then you go into the next stage, which is really strange. So
we're kind of fixing other people's problems right now with the combustion.
So the third, so I'm interested in those stages, the end stages, because that's totally, it's already going to blow people's mind. But when we get to that stage, and hopefully we can get there quickly.
It's a complete change in paradigm for humanity.
Let's open their minds before you blow them, because it's going to be
well, that's why it's a transition from one to the other. And also you can't just bring out something immediately and expect to run. These big companies have got 20-year plans, 10-year plans. They're going to have to shorten their plans, but it's helping everyone. It's like Malcolm says, you're empowering people now.
Oh, you are. Yeah.
So we've got people that don't have electricity, they don't have clean water. That's not how the human race is meant to be.
Yeah,
it's just not right.
When we can produce the level of abundance that people don't need to go through.
Well, there is abundance. There's no reason. It's always abundant. There's no reason.
We have energy all around us.
As soon as you control it, you lose the abundance. So as soon as someone gets control of it, the abundance is lost, because the greed comes into it. Greed, envy, all the rest of it.
Yeah.
So once we're heading in the right direction. Thank God. It's good.
Yeah, we certainly are, and it's
people's minds have to change. So I think it's going to take a bit for a few people to flip that. It's the struggles that you've had with the plasmoid unification model, the alpha ladder now. That's already blowing people's minds.
This is we are starting to get to this stage where there are bridges being built between standard.
And I think the next issue is the terminology too. So we have a lot of issues, when we talk, I'll say it a different way, you'll call it something else. Once that terminology has been fixed, then we're all on the same page.
Yeah.
Then everyone knows what at the moment that terminology, everyone uses different terminology.
Yeah.
And it's we're all over the place.
And it's probably going to get standardized.
It's getting now.
Standardized
It's
around
already
the Thunderstorm Generator
It will.
project, because that is the practical application
That's
of it.
right.
And that's how it happens. Isn't it?
That's it. Exactly.
Some people didn't know what a plasmoid was.
No, yeah.
I mean, came up. Winston Bostick came up with it many years ago.
Well, look, it was different, called different things.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
I knew it as an ionization type of plasma.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
so
yeah.
the termination plasmoid has come out now, and people can associate what they know. Oh, that's what it's called.
Yeah,
It's a
that's what it
plasmoid,
is.
you know?
Yeah, even if you learnt it as something completely different. Yeah.
So once you get all that terminology, it's the once we all learn the terminology, I think we can move on from there, because then everyone knows what everyone's talking about.
Yeah.
You know, like we talk about the mega electron volt, you know.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be an mega electron volt. It's an energy equation. It's not a voltage equation.
Yeah.
You know, that's why have they called it electron volt? It's, you know.
Yeah, you had to explain this to me the other day before I did my video on it. But yeah.
It's the force required.
Yeah.
You know, it's not a voltage. You know, people think, oh, it's a voltage.
Yeah.
It's not it's the energy required to get over that voltage.
Yeah.
So why don't they say that? Why don't they call it a mega electron joule or something? You know, you know, it's the terminology needs to be set.
That's what has compartmentalized so many things ultimately.
Yes, everything. Yeah. Even with us, with the materials and the welding, we've got the same issues.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, it's the same thing. That terminology needs to be, and I'm shocking with terminology too, by the way. But that terminology needs to be set. So then everyone knows what everyone else is talking about, or else
Tower of Babel.
Oh, but that's it. You know, exactly. So
terminology is vital.
Vital. Because you're talking one
low energy atomic reaction as opposed to a nuclear reaction. So it scared a lot of the horses talking about nuclear. At low energy, because I think it's explosive and it's dangerous to work with. And of course it's not. It's at the atomic level, which is very small. You've got to handle it properly, but it's not going to blow up as you found today working on your machine there today. You joked about it could blow up, but you were only joking. Kidding. But it's not nuclear, it's atomic.
No, it's not. That's right. Yeah.
But again, it's the terminology. If you say nuclear, people run for cover. And one of Malcolm's greatest detractors, an idiot, has said he's dangerous because he's working with nuclear. I mean, it's so dumb. And
well, the other thing, Malcolm's working with plasmoids that are generated from water.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's another thing if he was working from plasmoids that were generated from the atmosphere. We're talking two different things.
Of course.
So so you've basically got a certain level of control of them.
Yes.
You know, because they're born, they're birthed in the water.
Would you mind
like us? We're birthed in the water too. What are we? There's another. You know?
Speak for yourself.
But see, the other thing too is when you look at a human and a human growing, where do we get all those minerals from? Like, how does the woman generate that volume?
Amazing.
It's amazing. It's just, and we're birthed in the water too.
Yeah.
Yes, we are.
You know, so interesting.
And all the old alchemists, of course, spoke about this, even up to the level of creating homunculuses and all sorts of mad things.
It's
but
there, you know.
Yeah, it's because it is the womb, and it is in the Thunderstorm Generator as well. When we have the Plasmoid generation.
Well, even where Malcolm talks about the bowl, you know, Solomon's bowl.
Oh yes,
Solomon's bath. Yeah, so it's all there.
Plasmoid generator.
It's there. You just got to pick out that information. You got to, you know.
Absolutely.
It's hidden in plain sight, like we said again.
Yeah.
The use of the word thunderstorm generator can be bothersome as well, because that is in the atmosphere. When
we're not making a weather machine.
Lightning, the plasmoids on a radically big scale.
Yeah.
But in the thunderstorm generator, I think that another word should be found, but it's too late now. It's been replicated with the water base, so it's different.
Well, you're replicating the thunderstorm. See, I think a lot of people might be getting confused that we're thinking we're building weather devices. You know, it's not. It's not a weather device. It's working the same way. It's working on the principles of the earth. It's exactly what the thunderstorm's doing.
Yeah, well, you can't.
You know, if you look at a thunderstorm, it's a very. let's not say exactly the same, but it's
well.
virtually exactly the same.
Well, that's why the name's been copied.
Well, exactly,
I think
yeah.
it's unfortunate on one way.
Yeah,
It does put
not a
people
weather
off.
machine.
Yeah.
No.
And it's at the microscopic
Yeah,
level.
that's Trevor Constable stuff. You want to do that? That's that's that stuff.
Well, yeah, there is enough of that stuff, and that
We'll
can
embrace.
certainly be done. Yeah.
Oh yeah, very easy. Yeah, you set off a resonance, and it just grows and grows and grows and grows. So
I know
and you
multiple
can see
people
it.
who've had to smash their machines because
You can
do it too well.
you
Yeah.
can see it happening. Like you pull in some you can pull in some stuff.
Yeah.
But see, if people don't know what they're doing, there's a lot of charge there too. So if it discharges on you,
You'd be in trouble. Yeah.
Ark of the Covenant type stuff, you're in trouble. So
Yeah.
yeah, you got to know. We still don't know what we're 100%. We're still learning. We're still at the learning stages. So there's a few things that are there's the set systems that what's going on. So you know how to avoid those. But we're still learning. We're still
Absolutely.
It's a part of it all,
Yeah,
When
you're
you think of
constantly
an
learning.
elephant firing deuterium bullets, that's hydrogen too,
Yeah.
at deuterium, and they got atomic explosions. They didn't expect that. That was the first time they've ever had that, and that was about 1932, before he wrote his big paper. So they take risks on that level. I mean, he's sitting there watching a nuclear reaction, and the gamma rays of radiation coming off it as well. So unfortunately for you guys, you've got to experiment.
Well,
You've got to do it.
Well, even we've made parts for projects around the world.
Yeah.
That same thing. A perfect example is in the synchrotron where they deflect the neutron, and they get deposits of titanium and all different sort of materials.
Right.
So there's another. Where does that come from?
Yeah.
How does that happen?
Transmutation at a different level.
Well, they don't like saying transmutation. It's a
Don't they?
it's a dirty word.
Is it?
Oh yeah.
It's a dirty word, like cold fusion, dirty word. But that's what's happening.
Yeah.
That's exactly what's happening. And again, terminology. They get you on terminology. It's always the terminology.
Yes. Well, NASA's talking about something lattice now for
Lattice confined.
confined lattice,
confined
which
lattice
is cold
fusion.
fusion.
Yeah,
now because they never admitted cold fusion.
Because they made
You
it.
bring it under another term.
Pick up another one. Yeah.
They made it a dirty word. So it's not. It's the cleanest thing that's there. That's what we should. We live on a pressurized planet.
Mm.
Like, why would you go and repressurize things? It just doesn't make sense to me.
No.
We live, the planet's already pressurized. Like, we should be working with the vacuums and that side of the equation, not on this side of the equation.
Mm. Okay.
Gee.
And you're, although your father was from Greece,
Yes,
originally,
yeah.
you actually got a bit of a kind of ancient Greek connection.
we
I just
do,
kind of
yeah.
wanted to touch on that because
Yeah, so we were originally, the family was merchant traders from Syros, from an island just out of Turkey. So my great somewhere there was the mayor of that island. Many I don't know how many generations back. We found that there's history in the actual on the island. My sister went to the historical records. Yeah, so we used to trade between Turkey, so we used to have a place. I'm talking back in the day, Constantinople, and we'd go back and forth, and they also had in Thessaloniki in Greece. So they would travel around, and there's an interesting story there when it got invaded by Turkey, and all the Greeks had to flee. So they all fled, and they only got left with everyone was jumping on the boat. So they only got left with a few items, and that's where I got involved in the spiritual side of things.
through your Greek.
Through that, it's a long story. My grandma had an icon, and that was the only thing she kept, and she asked for that to be lit. It wasn't lit. We had spirits in the house, and that's where that really opened up. So that opened up the spiritual side of things, for me. So
which
I was as a kid, I used to predict a lot of things. So as a kid, there's a perfect in the family. We were walking with my dad past a tree, and I was pulling my father, and I was probably 7 or something, and I was pulling him. I go, Dad, that tree's going to fall. Hurry up, And I've got a photo of me sitting on that tree. So I was watching TV, and I was looking outside, and I was just waiting for this tree to fall, and the lightning hit the tree, and the tree fell exactly where we were walking. Wow. So my uncle, because he heard the story, and my dad, they put me on the tree and took a photo. photo of me on the tree. But there was a lot of things like that used to happen, and then that incident, I blocked it all out. So from that incident that we had with my great grandmother with her icon, I unfortunately blocked a lot of that out, and that's where the information was coming from.
Yeah.
So I was, like Malcolm says, with the downloads, and that's with the Stanley Meyer stuff. So it was just after the Stanley Meyer that incident happened at the house, and I had to shut it down.
So you've had a lot of those same kind of experiences that. Is that there is a field of knowledge. The Greeks called the ether. You get those called the Akras.
That's right. Yeah, it's all Greek anyway.
It's all Greek. We have this argument regularly.
Yeah. So how do you explain those kids that are 5-year-old? They're 5 years old and they know, where did they get that information from?
Yeah,
they couldn't have read books. There was no internet back in the day.
Yep.
Our brain is the internet. The two hemispheres links into the, resonates and it downloads that information. Now people will think I'm crazy, but that's how it works.
No,
I don't think they will anymore. We are starting to get into consciousness.
They used to get minds opening up.
Well, years ago,
you can't rave on about it because then they will label you, but. In general, that's now acceptable. All that stuff,
Well, the information.
There's more than There's physical explanations and there's spiritual.
Well, it's stored in the universe.
They're not separate. It's like ultimately, it's like they're either one.
We're getting the same now.
Yeah, there you go. We don't want to go too far. You've
got a resonance with Malcolm because of all that.
Yeah, the connection was there, and I don't know as much as he knows. He's beyond me, but there's certain aspects with everyone. I can't say that I know more than you, or you know something different to me. Everyone's had different experiences.
These great partnerships.
Yeah. Once we come together, we can move.
Yeah. When you put all of these skills together,
spirituality appeals to you. You like that side of it.
I did like it. It's still there, but I got very scared. Yeah.
You what? Sorry?
I got very scared and I shut it down.
Did you?
Yeah. I had writing on the wall and all sorts of things.
Christ,
Yeah. So ancient writing. So
Yeah.
So I got we got a bit spooked, and then we got the priest there, and they're saying it's a devil and all this, and really spook you out even more. So so shut it down, and now I'm trying to get it back again. So it's hard. Once you need to build up that momentum, you need you need the stillness.
Yeah.
So you need that stillness, which is very, very different when you're trying to run a business and you've got a family. And that stillness in my youth, it was very easy. As you get older, it becomes a bit very difficult. Life sort of puts pressures on you, and it makes it very hard. And if you shut it down and you stop that momentum, it's very hard to build that momentum up again.
Interesting. I've never heard that explanation.
Yeah. So that's what I'm finding. It might be different for others. Everyone does things differently.
Partly you're saying you're very more open-minded when you're young, not just you, but
yes.
And then it gets closed down by the way we live, and
we get corrupted.
I think that makes a lot of rational sense.
It's
a lot of children are almost living in a dream world, right? It's only really after we start to establish that we really start to go, hey, this is physical reality. This is more permanent than a dream.
Well, like the kids, spiders and snakes and stuff, they're not scared of them. We get taught to be scared of. We get taught fear.
Yeah.
We get taught it. They like. Reptiles. They
like Santa and all the rest of it. Just change his letters around. Let's not get into that.
and that can be that material spiritualism coming in as well. Where everything's kind of bad, everything's negative.
No,
in the end, if you read any of the the worldwide scriptures, all of this stuff is happening.
Yeah,
and sometimes in the most kind of divine and.
Well, that's the thing that
God granted ways. Ultimately.
Yeah. Well, the thing that annoys me the most is when people say the devil is in the details.
Yeah.
It drives me insane.
No, he's not.
Why? How many times the Creator will work with you, not for you. Walter Russell said it. You need to work with the Creator.
Yeah.
And He will help you if you're doing the right thing. You will get help from the Creator. Once you experience that, there's no going back. I think more people need to experience that. They might think I'm a Fruit Loop, but once you experience that, there's no way, you cannot go back.
Yeah, oh, look, so many great scientists.
We don't want to get
to this
too
conclusion.
religious in this, but it's based on that.
But it's not. This is science. This is consciousness. This is life. You must consider these things. We all have different paths and different beliefs, but there is a fundamental truth to this.
The Holy Spirit. You have to have it. It's crucial. It's it's. I didn't want to go down the religious path, because people sort of put some people off, but it's there. You can't deny it.
I think anyone with any sense understands what we're talking about here, and we're not being fundamentalists or anything else.
From all that, it's what you produce and what Malcolm produced.
Well, that's it.
Exactly. This is the key. I look at some of the stuff from not so much you, but others I've dealt with and Malcolm, and I say, God, I don't really comprehend that, and I haven't got that connection. But then I look at what they're doing. I look at what Malcolm's doing. I look at your work. Where's it come from? It's there. You're not just spouting
that's right.
religious nuttery. You're connected.
Yeah, that's right.
That's why I look at it. That's why I'm backing Malcolm stuff now. Because you can see the results. I've seen test results for 8 years on every kind of engine. He always sends me stuff, and you do as well.
Yeah.
And you have to say, I'm happy to be connected with all that spiritual stuff, but in the end, I look at the results. And the product, what's it producing? It's fantastic, and it's going to go on. It's only the beginning of it.
Well, that's right. Yeah, we're only scratching the surface here.
Oh, I'm aware.
It's massive changes, and they're good changes. They're changes. Yeah. The thing is, there's nothing else. How can I put it? This is probably the first time you're making something that's going to help everyone.
Yeah,
it's not bad.
It is altruistic. There's no question. That's an attraction.
Yeah.
I mean, if Malcolm was a money grubber or something, or was driving,
it would have stopped years ago.
He was driving around a Rolls Royce and had a huge estate somewhere and was locking away the gold.
Yeah.
Well, you'd have your third thoughts, wouldn't you? You'd say, "Oh, this bloke." But he's not. He's like Jesus. He has no money all the time. He gets it for other people.
Well, he wants to empower people. That's the thing. Those that want to empower don't look. It's the same way people go, "Oh, you're going to make a fortune," but I look at it as that money goes into the project to make the next project.
Yeah.
It's just the tool to make the next go the next step.
Limitations of people saying, "Oh, you're going to be rich."
Yeah.
You don't. The jealousy factor comes.
Oh yeah, it's bad.
This is probably going to be a complete industrial revolution. Once this takes hold.
Once
anyone who's had any hand in this probably will be incredibly wealthy.
Those who know will see it.
But that's going to be very empowering to the world.
Yes.
In the fact that suddenly a bunch of scientists and a bunch of people in industries that are being absolutely crushed right now, to be honest, and you know how bad things have gone, are suddenly going to have a hell of a lot more to do and the capacity to do it.
No, that's right.
Yeah, it's an exciting prospect.
And it's happening everywhere, so it's happening around the world, which is good.
Yeah, so let's hope this absolutely takes off.
Oh, well.
Not hope. These are silly words.
It's happening everywhere, so it's this is the time, because there's so many people doing it.
Yeah.
It's so spread out all over the world, so it's good.
And it's good that there's a collegiate mentality, people getting together.
Yes,
this happened with Oliphant in Europe in the 30s.
Yeah.
There was no government stopping these physicists from talking to each other, whether they be German or Russian or anything. And Oliphant was really angry about that, because once the war happened and the Americans shut things down, he couldn't talk to the Russians and he wasn't allowed to do this, and that drove him nuts, because he felt in great empowerment by that connection with other physicists, and that's what's happening today.
That's right. I think that the connections there again.
Lots of scientists connected now with Malcolm stuff on a small scale at the moment. It's going to get huge, because people will get on board when they comprehend it. That's the key.
Once they click, once they see all the links,
you're up against history in the terms of what's taught in physics. I can tell you, I've dealt with. Because I studied physics way back in the 60s, and it's all so diametrically changed now. And you get people who I talk to them about cold fusion or something, and they go blank. They don't want to go there. They didn't have their 3-4 year degree in any shape talking about cold fusion. So you're up against that barrier. It's got to be overcome. But again, it's only in the product.
Yeah.
We can talk up a storm. But,
the other thing too is new foundations are being laid. So if your foundations are not good, the book you write today is wrong tomorrow. Yeah. So if you base your book on the proper foundations, the book you write today is still correct 100 years down the track.
One hopes.
Yeah, but if you don't lay proper foundation, the book you've written it so quickly becomes just to warm you up.
Yeah.
You put it in the fireplace, you know.
Which is why we're getting so much resistance.
The foundations.
So many people's lives and work are built on something that is incorrect.
Yeah, the foundations were not 100%. Let's not say they're not wrong, but they're just it's like having 100 pages of a 1,000-page book.
Yeah,
it's not all there. It's there. So you can't say they're wrong. It's there, but it's not all there.
Well, we've kind of created a lot of secondary systems, in the sense of like particle physics, for example.
Well, it's a simple system that becomes complex.
Yeah,
it can't change halfway. You know, the creator won't grow a tree and then go, oh, hang on, halfway I'm going to change the formula. It's got to be, it's got to be a consistent,
And we find this, of course, from
we find
the macro to the micro.
We find
it's
that
it's the patterns that are important.
The patterns, the octaves, everything.
The octaves, ultimately.
It's crucial. You know, there is a set system. There's a set. You know, like the musical scales that you talk about. It's a set system. You can see it. It's there.
We live in a
I don't understand why people can't see it. Yeah, it
is very, very clear.
It is, but I think because they've offset it. Again, it's the terminology and the shift. You know, they've shifted that frequency. So, like you said the other day, so slightly, but it's enough to cause massive issues.
Yeah, just by changing the foundations, everything.
Yeah, once you go in the octaves, that grows. It's like an accumulative error.
Yeah.
Which is exactly what it is. You start off with a little bit and you end up with a lot.
Yeah, which is exactly what they've done in musical tuning and everything else. You know, they've changed.
Well, we do it here. We have to allow for that accumulative error when we're welding because we get shrinkage in the world.
Yeah.
So that's for other people that are being smart. So
yeah.
So you get when you weld, you get the shrinkage. Yeah. So you have to allow for that. You know, if you've got 20 joints and it's 2 millimeters, you're going to end up. You know, what's that? You're going to end up 400 millimeters out.
Yeah.
You know, that's about that much.
A lot.
You're going to be in big trouble.
Yeah.
So you have to allow for that, and that's what they've done. They're just a slight change, just enough to set the whole system out.
Great compounding error.
It goes,
Yeah.
So
Reminds me of Malcolm telling people back here when he was in Europe, one pipe had to be a certain diameter, and someone said, "Oh, I'll just stick in the nearest possible," and it didn't work.
Yeah,
and that's a frequency thing.
Resonance.
Exactly
they called him. You said change that, and then it works.
Yeah.
I could just stick another pipe in. He'd worked out the frequency and the resonance.
It's based on ratios.
Yes,
it's all based on ratios.
You're doing this all the time.
Yeah,
because if you're one fraction out, you've stuffed the whole machine. Yeah.
Well, look, you have got a tolerance. There is a tolerance there, but you got to know which way the tolerance is. If you're too far on the negative or too far on the positive, well, you're out of tolerance. Yeah. You know, same when you're building something, you got to stay within that tolerance. If you go out of that tolerance, it's not going to work.
It'll never be exactly what's on the blueprint.
You can't, the marriage of a male and a female will not work because that male part will not match that female part. So, if it doesn't interlink, that's the marriage of components.
Yeah. Yep.
One's got to fit the other.
Yeah.
You can't, if you look at engineering terms, again, terminology, we come back to this terminology.
So in the immediate, what's next for Akras Industries and the Thunderstorm Generator project here? Where are you at? I know we spoke with you and with Rockpacker already about kind of the general updates going on, but your involvement, what's the next steps that are...
Next steps are probably going into the mass production, really cleaning up the mass production, because we're there already. We've just got to tidy it up. So we're in the sort of starting on the production side.
So that's kind of tooling up.
The right tooling, getting the right results from the tooling, allowing for all the, the stresses in the material, the annealing, all the spinning, pressing, welding. So there's the list goes on.
Devil in the details, eh?
Don't start with that.
And
Yeah,
you've got to
God
work-
is in the
you've got to
details.
work on that thing for the chimney as well.
Yeah, the chimneys. Yeah, the
Yeah.
chimneys as well.
But
Yeah,
you were confident you'd be able to do that. We're talking now
yeah,
about,
no problem.
say,
Yeah,
a
why
coal
not?
fire
Simple
plant.
engineering solution.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
it's an engineering thing then.
Yeah, well, that's my background is in the engineering. So for me, it's because I do the 3D design. I design it in my head first,
Right.
and then I put it into the computer, and then from the computer we physically make it. So
Yeah.
we've got the thing from the design from the concept to the creation. So we do the whole, from start to finish.
That was the one thing Rockpecker said that would hold back or wasn't quite ready yet with coal fire plants, and it was the chimney technology that has to be corrected. But you're confident that'll happen.
Yeah, no
That's
problem.
massive.
Yeah.
It's just adding a pulse to the system.
pulse to
Because
the
with a
system,
generator,
yeah.
you've got the
Pulse. Yeah, it's not a problem.
where you
yeah.
just have a vacuum in the coal
Yeah.
power plant.
That's
so
that's
easy.
great to know.
Yeah, it's just getting to that stage. It's what do you do first? We're setting at the moment. We're concentrating on the Thunderstorm Generator. Once the tooling and all, it takes. People don't realise that the time that it takes.
Yeah.
Not only that, the paperwork that's involved. You've got all the accreditations that you need. You've got ISO standards. You've got the normal standards. You've got welding standards. The list goes on and on and on and
You've got to
on.
run the thing.
Then, not only that, then you've got to credit the people that are welding, and then you've got to credit this guy, and it just goes on and on and on.
Yeah. So that's really it. Is just going through all of
It's
these
going
little
through and
mean
getting them-
steps to actually get into production.
That's
but
right.
that's where we're at right now. is
Right now, yeah.
Going through those steps.
We're tidying up the production, so just tidying it all up and getting it ready to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What I was getting to before was just for the audience, if they're not aware, that the Thunderstorm Generator can go into the coal fire plants. There's only one bit of technology that's needed now to get that chip safe, apart from all.
Oh, it's already been tested, you know, but to improve what was already there.
That'll kill carbon in the coal fire plants. Oxygen's going to come out the chimney.
Yeah, well, Australia needs it. We can't get electricity. It's crazy.
It is absolutely.
You're like a welding shop.
I can't get electricity. I can't. I've got to move because it's maxed out.
It's just
so it's crazy. We're a manufacturer. What do you think we need? We need electricity to make stuff. We can't. They're cutting off the gas. Yeah. Well, how? What do you do?
They are cutting off.
How they put everything electric. Some items you can't.
Yeah.
You're talking about massive industry. You know how much that would cost to go electric? It's just, and we've got so much gas here. We've got coal for the next 400 years or something.
Cost to go electric, and we don't have any electricity to run welding machines.
We've got now we have the opportunity. We've got 400 years plus of coal. Now we've got something that's clean.
Yeah.
There is no reason why we can't fire them up again. We need to start. China makes one coal fire plant a day or something.
And if it was 400 years of coal then, with the Thunderstorm Generator, ultimately it's actually going to be quite a few more hundred.
Easily doubles it,
Exactly.
So I think we'll be right for the next, and then by then we'll have let's hope in the next decade or so we have the new technology which which does
the only thing stopping it is us, and when I say us, I mean humanity just
it's because the plans they're stretched out, because the company needs to have, running a business myself, you need to have a 5-year 10-year plan. You can't just turn around and say, all right, we're doing this, 90-degree turn. It doesn't happen.
No one wants the world to collapse anyone to suffer, we want a smooth transition into the future.
This technology is a transitional technology. Now, if you don't want to get up off your ass and do something, you're going to get left behind.
Yeah.
So those that can see it and that want to do something, and you need it, because even when we're in India, how many times did the power go off?
Yeah, it was.
How do you run a business?
Yeah, in a factory with big machines and backup generator.
It takes you you lose the program. It gets a glitch. You got to restart it again.
So let alone talking about
Then we've got the battery issue. Then you got the batteries. Now let's really look at when you make a battery. Let's really look at what that costs on the environment.
Yeah. Then the losses involved in generating the electricity. Every part of it is.
Look, the batteries are good. There's what's the old saying? There's horses for courses. So there's certain things that you can do, but when you go a bit bananas, it's not worth it. It's not.
Yeah.
We're looking at the windmills. You can't recycle any of them. The oil that goes in there is toxic. They've got floating bearings. The maintenance on them is ridiculous.
Yeah.
And they got to, they turn on at what? Like, they don't start until it's like 30k, I don't know, about 30k's, and then they got to turn off.
Yeah.
And then that's when the wind blows.
It is the absolute opposite of green.
I don't, it just blows my mind.
The politicians, they're not going to learn the new stuff while they're in power. They're not going to do it. They're not going to bother. And the scientists are old school, and they're not advising them correctly. Look, have a look at this.
Yeah,
but you got to look.
That's what you've got to break through as well.
Well, that's like when they do costings. When I look at making we do a pilot plant or upgrade equipment, and they look at the direct costs. And then you look at the indirect costs, and they've spent more than what it would to make the whole thing again. Yeah. So this is the.
So how many coal-fired plants have we got in this country? I mean,
I'm not sure. There's not many. There's many.
So we should be building them and putting.
Well, they blew that one up down at where did they? And they're all clapping.
Well, yeah, we had more, but they just keep letting them run.
But now you can run.
Take some maintenance.
You can run them clean. They've had the clean.
Cheaper than building.
Yeah, well, they've had clean air technology. They've had the scrubbers. We make scrubbers here, left, right, and centre.
Yeah.
So they've had that sort of technology, but this technology now is totally clean.
Yeah.
There's no excuse now.
No red metals,
no
nothing.
Excuse not to put these devices on. We need power. It's ridiculous.
Absolutely not. So, I mean, if you're a political figure, if you have any influence,
yes,
do it. Yeah, this is getting ridiculous. So please,
we can't get power. Look, they've shut. When was the last? I don't know when the last manufacturing minister was. Have they still got a manufacturing? I don't think it's. They took a manufacturing minister off.
Yeah,
that goes to show you what they think about manufacturing in Australia. It's so hard as a manufacturer. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah, and this is what that can bring ultimately. Aside from the advantages of the technology,
well, that's it.
Is a whole new manufacturing industry.
Well, if they don't move their ass, someone else will. So if they don't go and fire up the coal-fired plant, people will have other alternatives, and they'll lose out on that market.
Yeah.
Because they've got the pole infrastructure. They've got all the infrastructure there, which they need to fix as well. That's another issue.
But I still always think that a lump of coal is totally inert, can't do any damage.
Yeah.
You put it in the engine, carbon comes off. Your technology is going to kill the carbon. So the problem with this sabotaging of the whole oil and gas and industry doesn't make sense, because it's not going to cause any problem as it is.
Well,
as once it's in the system and it gets, the carbon comes off, and then we have issues all the way.
Not only that, but oil. I don't know if I should be saying, but
you
think you'll get in trouble now?
Please do.
No.
Oil has more value as something else. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah, Malcolm said this publicly before, so I think you can say it just fine.
Okay, so once they realise, they haven't clicked. Once they realise they've been giving a product that's got a value of a lot more away for the price that they've been giving it away for as a fuel, we shouldn't never have used it as a fuel.
Yeah.
For plastics and this and that.
What do you think about it for food?
Well, there's other uses for oil. There's once they realise what oil actually.
We're not the only beings that need protein, are we?
Yeah. So let's spat it out. I didn't.
Right.
Yeah. So let's just once they realise they've been wasting it as fuel, they'll say, we've had an asset here that's worth this much. We thought it was worth this much. It's worth a lot more.
Try converting the big companies. That's the hard thing.
If they've
got, you've got to show them that there are other uses for the oil. Otherwise, they're going to just
there is, and this is
hit against it all the time.
Yeah, but they've got 10-year plans. So this is a good opportunity now as a transition, because it gives everyone time to transition.
Mm-hmm. And they're going to need to at some point.
They have to. If they don't do it, they'll get left behind.
It's not going to happen forever.
If we don't do it, someone else is going to do it.
Yeah.
So that technology is out there now. Malcolm's technology is out there. The charts they're here sitting on the wall. So I'm not the only one with these charts. So it's out there now.
Businesses and governments can either jump on board, or we're going to do it amongst the small folk, and it's going to get done anyway.
It's going to get done. If we don't do it, someone else will.
And it can be far safer and more regulated, which they like if they want to do this.
Well, how many people are already doing? There's thousands of people already. So it's already out there, and
so many independent replicators.
I met the guy downstairs from the bush.
Yeah, there you go.
Who had his own TSG, the Thunderstorm Generator today. he was amazed at how quickly it started and it was glowing and working. I mean, that was amazing.
Yeah, he just whipped one up on the side of the road.
He must have got the design from you and Malcolm. I mean, did he? I mean, simply the outsourced stuff.
Oh yeah, the bits of, yeah. We just welded one today, just before.
Yeah, I saw you whipped one up.
Just there you go. It's happening everywhere. But the other thing too is it helps a lot, especially in the mining, and all that. They've got equipment now where they need ventilation. It's actually the engine is killing them.
Yeah.
Now all of a sudden you've got an engine that's a lifesaver.
It creates
it's
oxygen.
Totally changed.
Yeah.
And it scrubs all the air. It cleans the CO2. You've got a scrubber that's on your engine. So if something happens in the mine, you have a mine collapse or something, turn the engine on.
Yeah.
Imagine doing it now. Turn the engine on now, you're dead.
You're going to die a lot quicker. Yeah, now it could actually keep you alive.
Well, just today we were doing the testing in a closed room.
Yeah, we were all locked in that room.
If that's not proof, if we're not dead, we're here now.
To give all of you,
And I said that was
might be a bit crazy.
I took a little video with the guys downstairs before saying, "Hey, so we were all just closed in a room, right? You remember that? That was real." Yeah. And I said, "Oh, it was 15 minutes. We were in there for 40 minutes. 40 minutes hanging out in a closed 5 by 5
room. Don't do that with a proper generator.
No, don't, because you will die. You will 100% die.
Yep. That's it. So there's
the
proof
carbon
itself.
monoxide mainly.
Well, there's faith in the system, 100%. So,
and so you can imagine what you can do with that in mining.
It's just
aerospace.
There's applications of aerospace is even better because you get rid of the heat. So you can use that for other things. So
the uses get very
once people click and they start thinking, especially the underground mining. Once they click, they go, hang on a second, all of a sudden we've got a life-saving device. And the ventilation and all that. Yeah, you still need ventilation, but you've got a device now that you don't have to worry about it too much.
No.
Yeah. It'll scrub. It'll actually be a scrubber. It actually, people can't get that in their head.
No, they're only thinking about that one thing. But it kills the carbon. Yeah, that's useful. That's important. But it also transmutes the elements. It also can produce oxygen in environments that don't have oxygen. We can create black diamonds,
which upsets certain people.
Don't worry, we've been talking about that a lot. You didn't have to say it.
No, okay.
Black diamonds.
We'll start scraping them out.
Yeah, that's right. Right. Well,
is there anything else that you'd like to share while we're here, Michael? Or
no, I don't know. I'm just very excited for the future.
Yeah.
This is, like I keep saying, I don't know how many times I've said in this video, this is just the beginning. Yeah. I've been working on projects like this. Call me crazy. I don't care what people call me. I've been called many other things before, so it's fine. But this technology is here now. And this time round, it's been stopped so many times. This time round, there's already thousands of people that are on board. So
it's too late.
There's thousands of people. We're not talking hundreds, we're talking thousands. And the more the videos go out, the more people, the more people that are going to. And the beauty is that these units people can make in their garage.
Yeah,
at the moment for testing, just for experimenting.
I've seen that multiple times.
The
independent replicators we saw here.
That's it, exactly.
So many people just put together themselves.
The next thing, once you put on the bigger generators, that's a bit harder because the bigger generators, you need licenses, accreditation. You're not physically allowed to do that. So this is where we are at this stage. We're getting all
the going through those processes.
Those processes for the for the generators.
Recent advances on that we're going to hear about soon, hopefully. But
so this is the direction. So you're covering the whole market.
Yeah.
So you're covering the guy that's at the farm that just wants his little generator to run, to the big industrial chimneys that you got in
as
power
big as
plants.
We can get in terms of power
gas
generation.
Turbines, everything.
Yeah, turbines, planes,
gas turbines. It's brilliant. Not only on the gas turbine, but the heat equation, the cooling that's required. Not required anymore. You don't need that amount of water to cool. Certain areas that need a lot of power.
Also need to cool down. Viable energy.
We're not creating heat. We're sucking we're sucking that heat away.
We're using it.
What else do you want? Seriously, what else do you you can't offer someone anymore.
No.
Malcolm's offered us a silver platter. We're throwing the food off the platter. we've been offered the platter now, so let's just take it up and get things done.
Yeah.
And this is what we do. We get things done.
Yeah.
And we design them from concept to creation. We design them, we fix them, we make the stuff and we get it working. And then from there, mass produce it.
Absolutely.
Like we talked in the video yesterday.
Yeah.
So we're at that stage.
We are at that
finishing
stage.
we're just tidying up the tooling and away we go. Once we get the last accreditation, that's it.
Yeah. So you will soon be able to get a Thunderstorm generator installed on your vehicle generator or other.
From everywhere.
From everywhere.
Yeah, not from
globally.
Globally, not from us only, so globally.
Yeah. There are multiple, I think it's licensed in how many countries now? Over 20, I think.
Yeah. So there's many people manufacturing them.
Correct. Yeah.
So around the world, which is good.
It's fantastic. This is the way it needs to be.
It has to happen. Yeah. So it's good. There's thousands of people, but there's thousands of units. There's hundreds of countries. So it's really good. It's all happening. Yeah. Finally.
Yeah, finally. It's been a long time for you guys who've been doing this for many
well, not only us, like Malcolm says, we stand on the shoulders of giants. So, there have been the people that have plowed
sacrificed their lives,
sacrificed a lot,
or their credibility, or
everything.
All of it,
I've been called nuts so many times. I don't care.
Oh yeah, I mean,
look at the stuff I'm building. The proof is in my work.
That's
it doesn't work. Well, there it is. Take one away. Take it with you. Do whatever you want to it.
Well, I'd love to mention this actually. We had the Skeptics Society. If you guys are watching it, I'd be happy. Come and check out the generators when we were in Sydney, and of course, I tried to say, is there anything wrong here? Have you got any criticisms? Do you want me to go get fresh fuel? We really bent over backwards. Do you want to see a fuel consumption test? No. And of course, we haven't heard anything back from that again.
Well,
it's
years ago I gave units away. I just said, take it, and do whatever you want with it. It's right there. It doesn't work. Well, here's one. Take it, do whatever you want.
Yeah, this is it. We are literally trying to give on a platter here, and many people may not see this because you're not seeing scientists or industries comment about it. But we're giving it to people, and it's just they got to take it up now.
Well, that's it. It's there. It's done.
Yeah.
It's done. There's no going back now. The technology's out there. There's new information coming out all the time. This is a transitional technology which helps everyone.
Yeah.
It cleans up the mess that we've made. If they want to go down that path, they can. If they don't, well, that's their problem. The time has come to clean it up.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
Good point. Well, thank you so much, Michael. It's been a real pleasure.
Yeah,
I've been waiting to talk to you for a while about this, and I was excited to ask some questions there. Yeah.
Oh, no worries.
And thank you, Roland, as well.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you both. Thanks for your time.
I hope you enjoyed my discussion with Michael Akras and Roland Perry. Michael drops some true wisdom in this one, and I think anyone who knows their stuff will understand that Michael really, really knows his stuff. He's been neck deep in plasmoids, resonance, and magnetism since he was young, and he's a prolific experimenter. I'll definitely be following up with Michael again in the future to go deeper into some of what we talk about in this video. Remember to make sure you are subscribed to Alchemical Science to catch the next parts in our Alpha and Omega Ladder series. Next up in the series, we will be catching up with independent replicators Ben and David, and I have some incredible footage to share of plasmoids arcing out of the Thunderstorm Generator, a bunch of guys sealing themselves in the room with the Thunderstorm Generator running for about 40 minutes, including myself, and much more. Thank you for watching. I'm Jordan Collin, a student of Malcolm Bendall, and this is Alchemical Science. I'll see you next time. Stay tuned.